But
You don't have
You're
to.
not done
you
yet.
don't have to grow
You're not done
from
yet.
concrete, okay?
Yeah, you're not done
You
yet.
don't- you
You're not
don't
done
have
yet. You soon come out of your concrete. You're not done yet. Not give up yet.
Do not let the worries of the
Yeah.
world take you away
Yeah, you're not done yet.
from the fountain of life.
And I hate that.
Do
Yo, 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 yo. We're glad to have you guys in this great space. We are your hosts.
Mandy.
Candace.
I'm Brandon. Thank you guys all for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, getting the videos out there on a daily basis. We genuinely appreciate the love and support.
Yes, sir.
The verse of the day is, and on the seventh day, Genesis 2, verse 2 to 3. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. All right, guys, that's the verse of the day. Definitely take some rest. Try not to get burnt out. You know, yeah, try not to get burnt out. So guys, we have an interesting episode for you guys. We have the parables. Which is your favorite parable, Candace? Which is your favorite one?
My favorite parable was the one with the guy. I don't know the title of it, but it was one with the guy who had a lot of things, and he was supposed to have like a harvest or something. Ended up tearing down the barn and built a bigger one, only for death to call him home. Said night that the bigger barn was built. Yeah, it's a parable about greed, I believe.
Which was yours, Mandy?
Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan?
All I wanna was your love, love,
But I really, really, really don't like you. Now it's over. Da-da-da. You just brought me down.
Hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like you. Now that it's over, you.
I thought we were all going up.
I
was about to do.
apologize. I apologize to the headphone users.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we
but
have
all our BCN children's church kids
we have
from our era should know that.
that
song.
a great episode.
Love your enemies.
I love your enemies. A great gang lunch episode. So the episode today is Parable of the Sower. And it's taken from Matthew chapter 13,
Verses 4 to 23.
4 to 23. Mandy will debrief us on how it goes.
Debrief.
Isn't
I
it?
should just read it.
Yeah.
Debrief.
That's why you use the word,
You owe
right?
me a dictionary today?
That's why you use the word, right?
You owe me a dictionary today?
Is that how is the word used?
Read what you read, your sister.
A farmer went out to sow his seed.
Okay.
As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. The disciples came to him and asked, "Why do you speak to the people in parables?" He replied, "Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes, because they see, and your ears, because they hear. For truly I tell you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. 23rd and last. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown.
And this is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be
Thanks
to
be to
God.
God.
Thanks be to God, indeed, indeed.
All right. So,
The parable of the sower. And as we know, or for those who may not know, a parable is usually a simple story that has a much bigger religious or moral meaning behind it. So it really is a simple story that can share with you a very important principle. It's a simple story that has a very big and important message for all of us to learn. And in the parable of the sower, we're being introduced to a farmer who goes out and sows his seed. In this case, the farmer would be whoever is sharing the word of the Lord, which would be said seed.
yeah.
And in this parable, there are different grounds or different types of circumstances in which the seed can fall into. Ensure you remain hydrated. Thank you, Brandon. So there are different there are different grounds and different ground.
What was that?
There's a lot happening today, folks. There are different grounds in which the seed can fall upon.
Yeah.
There are 4 types that we're
Discuss.
made aware of in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
word.
yeah.
One where it's the
The
Fell along
path.
the path.
So that's the one that, people walk on all the time. The path, which
rocks.
had the birds. There's the one that talked about the rocks.
Rocky ground.
Rocky places.
There's the one about the thorns. And there
Thorn
is
them.
the
Good
good
soil.
soil.
Good up
Right? Those
soil.
are 4 different.
What, a loam? A loam soil? Is it loam soil the best soil?
Loam. You don't
Yeah.
want clay. You
Enough
don't want
wa-
sand. You
You
want
were paying
loam.
attention in science class?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the right. Okay, Mandy. Okay, the right
Yeah.
amount of water retention with the right nutrient balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know that,
The
don't
man
you?
smart. Scientist.
Say I open up him dictionary about deep
Geologist.
reefs and all them something here.
Geologist.
Okay.
Continue.
So yeah, those are different grounds that the seed can be sown upon. And when we were looking through it, something that I found interesting is that regardless of whatever condition the seed will fall upon, is the fact that the sower sowed the seed. So it really, from my point of view, it really doesn't matter. Well, no, that's a bit of a harsher term. From my point of view, the sower has done his part. And as Christians, we are called to make Christ-like disciples in the nation. So we are supposed to go out and we're supposed to sow the seed. Whether the recipient of said seed is unwilling to hear, whether they want to argue with us, whether they pay us no mind, or whether they sit and gobble it all up. We were called to go out and make Christ-like disciples. We were called to go out and share the word. The seed that someone had taken their own time to sow into us is what we were asked to do. So we as the sowers, in this case, we are called just to sow the seed. Wherever the seed falls is the person's business, which I think kind of reminds me of when they say in church, you can't save anybody.
True.
You can only share the word.
True.
And whether the word takes root in their heart is their business.
Facts.
Because that is the ground that you are responsible for.
Your business.
Exactly, that is serious business. Making money
Work for you. Barista
Barista
investments. Serious business. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So as a
Serious.
sower, we can't save anybody.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think sometimes some Christians can find that disheartening that you can't see on somebody's outside what their soil looks like. Even if they do have a chirpy disposition,
Yeah.
that could be the hardest of soil. So you really are just asked to sow your seed and let God work on the soil. So yeah, don't
Yeah.
get discouraged if when you do share, you get backlash or you are ignored or you see a different side of somebody that you thought you really knew.
But you know, it has to be like that though. Each person taking responsibility for the germination of their seed. I think it's like that because everybody at the end of the day has individual goals or purpose that God really has set for them. So you can plant the seed for me,
Yeah.
but you are not. Okay, let's say my purpose is to be a singer, to lead, to be a worship leader.
Yeah.
Sister Candace can plant the seed and be the one
Singing for you.
singing for me. I am going to have to be the one that has the responsibility to grow this seed, to nurture it,
Yeah.
to water it, to make sure it has the sunlight, all the nutrients that it needs
Yeah.
to become what it's supposed to become. And notice him never give like a specific kind of seed because the seed that could have come out for be a flowers. This one could have
Yeah.
come out for be a fruit. That one that could have come out for be a plant like a mint bush or something. Like you everybody.
Yeah.
It's individual work, just like what the Bible says. You have to work out your own salvation.
Correct.
I know your pastor go do it for you, and your mother go do it for you, and your friend go do it for you.
True.
You have to do it for you.
True,
Because at
true.
the end of the day, every man has to give an account
Yep.
for himself and all that he has done while he's here on earth.
For real.
Brother, won't you, man? So, it's our duty and our job to take control of that seed that was planted in us by whoever it was
Yeah.
and to see it to fruition.
Yeah. So true. So true.
Yeah. And it's good that you said that he didn't name what the seed was.
No.
Yeah.
He just said the seed, the sower,
Him fling it out there.
threw it out there, and he said, "All right, let's see who
Yeah, who
who,
wants
come,
it?
who comes out." And I think with the first one, the path,
Yeah.
it basically explains that on the path, some seeds will get taken up by birds, some seeds will get taken up by different things, and
Yeah.
that can be we can know they be demonstrated as persons who come into the faith and the smallest things in life push them aside,
You're weak.
you know, and
Jelly back.
it will show to the level where where the word is in your mind, where how it exists in your mind. Because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like what happens in the world doesn't sometimes
Affect
affect
us.
me, but I have a different level of resistance to
Yeah.
it than you may
Yeah.
have if it's your first time coming into the faith, right?
Yeah.
But the Bible talks about that some seeds are going to just get been taken up and thrown away by the birds, eaten up by the birds. But that means that sometimes you just get carried away with the things of the world as you become when you first become a Christian, which means you haven't really been grounded or rooted in anything at the moment.
Not rooted and grounded at
Yeah.
all.
So and your environment, you're not sticking to an environment either.
Yeah.
So you may be going to a church and you just got saved, but the church hasn't seen you back in 3 months. You know, you just come in there, say it was just a tool. It's a means to an end.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about the fact where it says it falls on a path.
Yeah.
A path is never somewhere that's usually
Where things grow.
Yeah, things
good
don't grow on a
for-
path,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if you take, for example, like a field, if many people walk on one side of the field, there won't be any grass there.
There's no
And
more
just
grass.
dirt, and you can see the line out for the path where
Yeah.
them walk to get through the field. So
Yeah.
if something falls there, so I feel like the analogy that's in my head right now, because a path is somewhere that you take to walk to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That person that come to church probably wasn't even here for going to church, like receiving
Yeah.
the word sake. Probably just somebody who passed through.
Yeah, somebody was
Yeah.
just a
'Cause
pass.
Yeah.
It said that on that kind of ground, the word wasn't even understood.
Yeah. So as somebody where did it really pass through,
Just a come at church.
and
to
you
the
just
Bible
so
is.
happen
Yeah.
to hear,
Just here
Yeah.
for like
hear the word, but you never listen.
for like an Easter.
Yeah. Or
Or
a
a New
Christmas or
Year's.
a New Year.
Mother's Day, Father's Day.
You just a
Yeah.
pass through.
Yeah.
Or you
come
come
for a
for
wedding.
christening.
Oh, yes,
You come for a
yes.
christening. So you just really a
Yo,
pass through.
Just here to see
And
the
as the
baby wake
baby
up.
christening, you're
Yeah, gone.
Remember the one time, about 4 baby christening the one time? And church pack up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
remember
Upon
that.
every church pack up, Regine.
So you came for
Yeah.
a different purpose. You
So
didn't
Yeah.
come.
I feel like path, even though the seed fell there, is almost as if the persons that were there, them never did. I don't want to say interested,
So you can see.
but it never meant.
It didn't mean anything.
It never mean anything.
It landed on the
Yeah,
surface, didn't
yeah.
even go under
Yeah.
anything. And even when you say that, it makes me think that, as you were saying, on the walked path, there's no dirt.
No grass.
like,
There's no grass.
there's no
There's no
grass,
grass.
there's just dirt.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for you to hide.
That's where I was, Brenton!
Yeah, there's
That's
nowhere
where
for you to hide.
I was just saying to myself, the
Yeah.
word is just there as easy picking.
Heat.
There's nowhere for the seed to hide or nothing.
Sounds-
For little rain
yeah.
come and a little
Yeah.
dust blow over it or shelter it or anything. That's why the birds can just easily just come and take it up.
And that's why Psalms 91 say, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide."
Abide.
Well, I hope that's what you guys can put it together.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
That's what it says, but you know, like it puts it together. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then the next one we have is the rocky ground. You don't know, tough like Avatar. Boom. Yeah. So
Man, please.
the rocky ground, it explains from some of the points we've taken.
That's what.
We've gotten some.
Sorry, continue.
We've gotten some. We use
Thought I said a bug.
as young people. We use sometimes ChatGPT. Sometimes it can help you to break down the points a little bit more. So we got rocky ground. It says seeds that fall on rocky ground sprout quickly but wither because they have no root. This represents people who receive the word with joy but fall away when trouble or persecution comes.
And
No.
it- just
Oh,
to add, just to
okay,
throw
okay.
on it,
Yeah.
when Jesus was explaining, it was saying that these persons would turn away when they are confronted with troubles or trials because of the word.
All right. So
on,
this is where you would have the persons who come into the faith and they're well excited. They hear the pastor say God will provide, which is right. He will protect, which is right.
Correct?
He will never leave you nor forsake you, which is right. He will be there for you, which is right.
Yeah.
But then in life, the Bible talks about that you will go through trials.
And
You go through
tribulations.
situations
Yep.
that that will test this commitment that you have with God. And sometimes God is not going to always save you from problems. He's going to sometimes want you to be in there to understand that, hey, it's been me and it's still going to be me.
Yeah.
But I need you to trust me. And with the rocky ground here, but what we can use is that when we were speaking before, Candy spoke about sometimes. I think Candice or Mandy spoke about a tree that will grow out of concrete.
Yeah.
And for those seeds that are under the rocky soil, they are now forced to grow against resistance, against adversity, against the trials and tribulations. Those guys emerge stronger. They will emerge stronger than the other seeds, essentially.
Yeah.
So the rocky ground would represent the persons who have no discipline for God, plain and straight.
And you know why? I think the most important thing that I have taken from the seeds that fell on rocky ground part is the root. The root is really what's important. Because if
Yeah.
you think about it, like your morals, you could be placed in so many situations where you can just fold
Yeah.
like a lawn chair immediately when certain things you're faced with certain things, but you already know what the word says
Yep.
for certain things. You know, based on other people's experience, how this can go,
Yeah.
even though it might not be the same for you.
Yeah.
But you are aware and you have your ammunition, which is the word,
Yep.
to have you, to guide you through that situation when you're faced with it. So if that wasn't there in the first place, it would have been definitely easy for you to walk away
Yeah.
or walk out because your faith was not cemented in the ground from day one.
Yeah.
So I feel like for Rocky Path, as them said, the sun, as soon as the sun come out, the next day, it that withered away and gone. It's short-lived because you came and you received the word. But the important part was where you were supposed to go home and read it for yourself,
Yeah.
study it for yourself and understand it. Because you know you have some people that want to read Bible on Sunday, not call a name, and you don't go home, you don't study the word
Yeah.
during your own time. You don't make time for God. You do not allow yourself to be open to what the Spirit wants to tell you. And when that happens, as soon as breeze blow you, what did say before, as soon as the devil
Yeah.
pinch you,
You bruise
you
up.
bruise up and black and blue and you should have fight him off. And then
Yeah.
in turn you're gone, you that gone. Cause you look on your back and you see say it black and blue and you say, oh me, nah make this happen to me again and you're gone.
You know,
Yeah.
it could, like Black and Blue was in my head, the plant trying to come through the rocks. And like a one bruise, I saw him bend up a little,
Yeah, so it
Yeah,
turned the other
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
So
but him
when
still,
him
yeah.
still come out, see, when you
Still.
come out, you know, you curve, the stem probably curve up instead
Yeah.
of straight.
Yeah.
But they still come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was thinking that even the points that Jesus made about persons turning away because of the trouble they face due to the word, it reminded me that the word or this relationship with Christ that you are fostering from the seed that was sown into you, it will cause you some discomfort. It will cause you to be convicted when you used to have no problem doing what you are doing. So if lying was your thing, or if stealing was your thing, or if sexual immorality was your thing, all of a sudden your chest just like get draw up, your heart has stopped beat, you're starting to feel guilty about the things that you were doing.
Yeah.
And that's a trouble that can come because of the word, because you now have a standard to hold yourself against, a standard that is unmoving, that is unchanging, and that will not allow you any leeway to think there's a loophole of getting around what the standard is.
Yeah.
So that level of self accountability, that you now have to hold yourself to that standard. That's why some people don't start in the first place, because them things say them done aga fall away already, so no bother start.
Yeah.
So that can be one of the troubles that the word can bring to you when you realize just how unholy
You are.
you are. When you realize just how filthy you naturally are, and you realize, no, you have to shape up. And you're not
Yeah.
going to like shaping up. It's uncomfortable. It's a new size that have to squeeze and fit in because you were a spiritual big back. But now you have to adjust the diet. Now you have to start workout. And now you have to trim down and fit into the standard that the God has given you.
It's growth
Yeah, it
and
is.
change. It's painful. It's never going to be easy.
No, it's not.
Because once you have taken this leap of faith or this new lifestyle, you are going to lose a lot of things
A
that
lot
you
of weight.
had when you were in the world.
A lot of weight.
And that's why a lot of people don't want to, because they feel as if what they're giving up is
Yeah.
not worth it. When really and truly some of the things that you lose or change from is what was holding you back.
Yeah.
So growth is always going to be
Yeah,
Uncomfortable.
everybody wants to hear that. I know the plans I have for you, saith the Lord.
But nobody
Plans-
know-
But nobody wants to hear, oh, count it all joy when you go through your trouble.
Nobody no want to hear walk uprightly.
Yes,
Yes.
please. Or patience is
Yeah.
a virtue. You must work on your
Right.
patience because
Yeah.
it builds perseverance.
Yeah,
nobody
no
want to
want-
hear that.
nobody no
Nobody
want
want
to
to
hear
hear
that.
We don't.
blessings. Blessings will come, prosperity.
everybody, that's what everybody wants to
Yeah.
hear. But you are going to be exposed to the raw and unfiltered truth. So many times life is going to be lifing.
Yeah.
And the enemy will be like Job's wife telling you to curse God
And yeah.
and die, or
might
just
as well.
to just give up
Yeah.
so you can have
Yeah.
back what you had. But trust me, if you go back, it's not going to be the same as when you were out there in the world, because once you have tasted Christ and you know what life is supposed to be like and what how you're supposed to be living,
Yeah.
when you go back, the lick back is going to be severe.
You might not
And
come
you
back.
on your
Yeah.
face,
Ooh.
And-
crawling back to Christ.
And the Bible talks about if you know something about if you know the truth and you go back to the world, it's that you're like a dog
Back
chewing
to his own vomit.
back to his own
Yeah.
vomit. And
And
Paul
then-
also said
yeah.
you're worse off.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
worse off, yeah.
There's this one where it said if somebody has like a demon cast out of them and they don't clean the room and get the right spirit in them, it'll just go out and call like 7 more, and they'll be worse off than when they started. So you can't think with
you
the
just
thing.
you have to
I think Mandy just broke
accept-
down the thorns.
you
Oh, the-
yeah
Yeah,
The,
she just broke
the
down the
thorns
thorns.
are the cares of life.
Yes,
you
yes,
have to
yeah.
accept that change, and when you accept it, stand firm. Because a lot of people like to think that change is just something that happens overnight. It takes time building up the strength
Yeah.
to stand firm and sink your roots into the ground. It takes time for that to happen. And that happens so that when the wind and the rain come and blow,
You might bend,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're not broke.
you're not.
No shaky warrior. You stand up tall, stand up firm.
Exactly.
We're not broken, just bent. Amen.
Yeah. And the last one is good soil.
Yeah.
Now with the good soil, it talks about that it's out of the good soil, it was bountiful and the harvest was great. But you can look at good soil as your environment. Now I'll just break it down, your environment as to where you spend most of your time.
Yeah.
What do you do with your time? Who
you're
are you
spending.
spending your time with?
Yeah.
Because your environment doesn't necessarily have to be where you are. Sometimes
Yeah.
your environment also is your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your mindset towards the things of God? Do you know see yourself on the path? Because the Bible talks about put on the helmet of salvation.
Yeah.
Your helmet protects your head. Your salvation is in your mind because you believe, because you know that you are saved.
Yeah.
So your environment is very important. And I always say that we spoke about the fellowship episode before.
Yeah.
If you're not participating in the things that your church has going on,
The new
it's gonna,
trends.
it's gonna be quite hard for you. Because
Yeah.
fellowship, if you have Christian friends, or if you have Christian friends, or you have persons who are Christians, even if they're older than you,
Yeah.
being in that space with them will strengthen you.
Yeah.
And that will become your environment.
Yes.
Who you're spending your time with. What
Yeah.
conversations are you keeping? The Bible says, whatever things are pure, whatever things are just, good report, think on these things. Your
Yeah.
environment is very important. Your mindset is very important towards the faith as well. Because you can think of the seed and the good soil as, yes, the seed was thrown in the good soil. But you can also think about it from your Christian walk. Is my environment conducive?
Yes.
Is it
Dictionary, may I tell you? Debrief and conducive.
Stop. Let me finish.
Adversaries.
I said adversity.
Loam.
Yes, mama.
Is your environment conducive for
Yeah.
you to grow as a Christian? That's very important. Will you may lose some friends? Yeah, but that's your mindset. If you're about the things of God and this is not taking you any closer to God, you're gonna have to cut it off.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Go,
It's that simple.
go,
So
go,
the
go.
good soil is really about your environment, and in that environment you will bear fruit.
Yeah.
And the Bible, talks about the vine thing. If you don't bear no fruit, you be cast out and
You get chopped off and
Chop
cast
off.
into the fire.
You know what, guys? This is a good
you're not on
segue
purpose.
into
Yeah, man. You guys comment below. You guys' thoughts on this as
your
well.
own interpretation
Yeah,
of
your thoughts as well.
the parable of the sower, Matthew 13,
Yep. From 4 to 23.
4 to 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you feel like the Holy Spirit drop something in you want to comment it below or let us know.
Yeah.
Send us a comment.
Don't be afraid of the conviction if you are reading and you realize that you have
If
not
you're being draped.
Yeah, if your heart's condition is not the good soil, you can make the adjustment. You can ensure that your environment is conducive.
Yeah.
Big up yourself, Brandon. Conducive to the development of that seed. It is not an end all be all. You
Yeah.
It's not
you
because you
can
know
prepare
what?
yourself.
Everybody, every single person on this world falls in one of these categories.
Yeah.
Every single person falls in one of these categories. So all is not lost.
Yeah, man. If you are the walk pan part, you need to start plow that up. You need to start wet that up and soften it.
Yeah.
You have to
Don't-
start and get some spiritual fertilizer. You need to start go your church. You need to start
Yeah.
some sermon. Change up what you do. Plow up and change up your position. You need to
Yeah.
wake up.
Facts.
Yeah.
And if you're among the thorns,
You need
you know, we like to say, roses can grow from concrete. But
You don't have
You're
to.
not done
you
yet.
don't have to grow
You're not done
from
yet.
concrete.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you're not done
You
yet.
don't- you
You're not
don't
done
have
yet.
to.
You soon come out of your concrete. You're not done yet. Not give up yet.
Do not let the worries of the
Yeah.
world take you away
Yeah, you're not done yet.
from the fountain of life.
And I hate that.
Do not allow
The birds.
yourself to be influenced by inappropriate
And
and
unacceptable
unacceptable behaviors that may constantly confront you
From
from disruptive elements
Is it Andrews?
from the wider society.
Okay.
All right. So
Brainwashing here.
make your
No, that's
make
that's good.
yourselves open to the Spirit, to the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit,
Yeah.
for God to just continue
Yeah.
to drop, blessings, seeds of blessings
Yeah.
Yes.
in your life. And always remember that your one seed may be whichever category you may fall in, whether it be the path, the
Or the
rocky
rocks,
ground,
the
or the
thorns.
thorns. Your one seed
Yeah.
can be motivation for the other seeds that are there
Yeah.
along the path with you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys all for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you guys for watching the video. Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, and the life. Get to know him today. And if you don't know him,
You're moving mad.
you're moving mad, bro. Thank you guys all for watching this Grace Space. Bye, guys.
Bye.